one thing I also, okay. Yes, good morning students. Today I am starting your new chapter, Introduction to Euclid Geometry. ये जो I have written Euclid, the name of Euclid. This is the famous mathematician who invented the some geometrical concepts. And postulates, axioms and postulates. Where they are applying axioms and postulate. This is the theoretical chapter, so listen carefully every point, because in the axioms relate to the every mathematical operation. In the mathematics, where various types of maths, for example, algebra, geometry, trigonometry, coordinate geometry, in every concept, the axioms are used. But the postulates is totally concerned with the geometry portion. It only relate to the geometrical mathematics. Okay. So again, I am repeating this thing. Euclid invented some axioms and postulates. The axioms are 7 axioms are there and 5 postulates are there. He confined all the terms in the 7 axioms and 5 postulates. What are axioms and postulates? Axioms relate to the every part of the mathematics, but postulates relate to the geometrical mathematics. So what are the 7 axioms in the Euclid geometry? One by one I will explain to you, and you will listen carefully. What are the 7 axioms? The first one I am writing, and you will write down all the points in your notebook, because in the query session I will ask you with I will ask these 7 axioms from you people. Now the first axioms is, note down these axioms. The first axioms is things which are equal to the same things are equal to one another. One by one I will clear also. Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. What does it mean? Things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. What does it mean? For example, A is equal to B and C is also equal to B. A is also equal to B and C is also equal to B. Things which are equal to the same thing. ये जो दोनों things हैं, A and C, both are equal to the same thing B. So you can say A is also equal to C. The meaning of this thing, when you can say a rectangle is equal to the triangle, and you can say like this, when a triangle is equal to the rectangle and a square is also equal to the rectangle, you can also say triangle is also equal to the square, like this. Okay. In the geometrical portion and in the every field of the mathematics, these axioms are used. So I have taken 2 examples. For example, A is equal to B and C is also equal to B. You can say A is also equal to C. Another way you can call it, when a triangle is equal to rectangle and a square is also equal to rectangle, you can say triangle is also equal to the square. The first axioms, now it is clear to you. The second axioms, note down all these axioms. The second axiom says if equal is added to equal, if equal is added to equals, the whole are equal. The whole are equal. How we solve this question? By using these axioms. Then the questions, we will take some problems and I will tell you how these axioms are used. So if equal are added to equal, for example, when I am writing here 5 is equal to 5, when the equal is added to equals, for example 5 is equal to 5, when I add both sides 2, equal are added to the equal, I add equal on the both side, left side and right side, I add both the equal thing. 2 is added on the left side and 2 is added on the right hand side, then you get here 7 equal to 7. You can call, when equals are the both things, left hand side equal to right hand side, you can call it if equal is added to equals. 5 is equal to 5. When the equal things is added to equal, I add equal things, 2 and 2. So you can call it 7 is equal to 7. So the second axiom is when the equals are added to equals, the whole are also equal. Note down these two axioms first, then I will explain you the third axioms. The equal are subtracted when the equals are subtracted from the equals, the remainders are equal. This is your third axioms. Note down these axioms also. Axioms 3. Axioms 3, if equal is subtracted, if equal is subtracted from equals, equal is subtracted from equals, the remainders are equal. The remainders are equal. When equal are subtracted from equal, the remainders are equal. Thus, it is same of the second axiom. For example, when I am writing here 5 equal to 5, these are the equal. Left hand side and right hand side both are equal. When I subtract from 5 2 and I subtract 2 also from the right hand side, I get 3 also on the left hand side and right hand side. Then you can say if equal is subtracted from equal, the remainders are equal. So when 5 is equal to 5 and I also subtracted the same portion, the equal portion I subtract from the left hand side and the right hand side, then I get 3 equal to 3. Now our left hand side is equal to the right hand side. So we can say that when equal are subtracted from the equal, the remainders are also equal. Now our fourth axiom is, note down the fourth axioms. All the axioms you note down in your notebook, because I will check your notebook also in the query session whether you have noted it on your in your notebook or not. Things which coincide each other. Things which coincide with one another, are equal to one another. For example, I am taking 2 coins. First, you have to clear this meaning of coincide. When one thing overlap the another thing, for example, when a triangle overlap the another triangle, then all the sides and all the angles are equal to each other. For example, I take a coin of 5 rupees and you keep this coin on the another 5 rupees coin. That coin overlap the another coin because their circle, because their surface, boundaries all are equal. When one thing overlap the another thing, you can say like this also, when one thing superimpose the another thing completely. जब एक चीज दूसरे को पूरी तरह से, when it is cover all the sides, all the points and all the angles, then you can say that the things are coincide each other. जैसे for example, I have taken a circle with the radius 2 centimeter and I cut this circle, and another circle I have also taken the 2 centimeter. Their radius is same. When I cut this circle and put this circle on this circle, this overlap all the boundary. ये इस boundary को क्या कर लेगी? It will cover. So you can say things which coincide each other, things which superimpose, things which are equal things, their boundaries, their length, their dimensions, and they overlap each other. Then you can say that these circles are also equal, because when I cut this circle and take this circle and put this circle on this circle, then we can say this circle overlap the another circle. When one thing superimpose the another thing completely, then you can say that things which coincide with one another are equal to one another. I hope you understand my all the points. Now our fifth axiom is note down all the axioms. The whole is greater than the part. The whole is greater than the part. What does it mean? Greater than the part. For example, I have a tumbler. Okay, it is full of water. 100 ml water is there. For example, I have a tumbler. Okay, and the 100 millimeter water is there. Okay, the tumbler has 100 milliliter water is there in the tumbler, and in the another tumbler I take out from this tumbler 10 milliliter of water and put in this tumbler. Okay, so you can say this is the portion of 10 milliliter is the part of 100 milliliter. Yes, you can say like this, 10 milliliter is the part of 100 milliliter. You can say like this, whole is greater than the part. What does it mean? Because your 100 milliliter is greater than 10 milliliter. Clear? Your 100 milliliter is greater than the 10 milliliter. Because 10 milliliter is the part of 100 milliliter. So you can say always the whole is greater than the part. Always the greater part, the whole part is always greater than its part. When, for example, I take a page and torn out into one piece. For example, total line is 10 centimeter. Total line is 10 centimeter, and I cut this line, divide this line into the 2 centimeter, and I cut this portion of 2 centimeter. The remaining portion is 8 centimeter, and the remaining portion, don't judge the remaining portion, the whole portion is 10 centimeter. So 10 centimeter is greater than the 2 centimeter. So you can say the whole length, the length you have cut 2 centimeter. So you can say that 10 centimeter is greater than the 2 centimeter. Like you can say like this also, then whole is always the greater portion is, whole portion is always greater than the small portion. Okay, greater than the its part. Or now your sixth axiom is, now your sixth axioms, two axioms are left now. Axiom 6. Things which are double of one thing. Things which are double of one thing. Things which are double of the one thing are equal to one another. Are equal to one another. What does it mean? The axiom 6. Things which are double of the same thing. For example, A is the double of 2x. Okay. And B is also the double of 2x. When the things which are double of one thing, A thing जो है, that is also the double of the one thing, another thing, 2x. And B is also the double of 2x. So you can call like this, A is also equal to the B. So how you can call these axioms? Things which are double of one thing, जो A है, I let A is equal to the double of 2x. And B is also the double of 2x. So you can call like this way, A is also the double of B. And your last axioms, note down, last axioms is things which are half of the same thing. Things which are half of the same thing, half of the same thing are equal to one another. Are equal to one another. For example, A is half of x. Okay. And B is also half of x. So you can call like this also, A is equal to B. The things which are half of the same thing, half of the same thing, then you can call that the same thing are equal to one another. So you can call that A is also equal to the B. Now I repeat all the 7 axioms one by one again. Your first axiom is things which are equal to the same thing are equal to one another. Okay. Second axiom is when the equal are added to the equal, the whole are equal. And the third axiom is when the equal are subtracted from the equal, the remainders are equal. And the fourth axiom is things which coincide with each other are equal to one another. And the fifth axiom is whole is always greater than the part. And the sixth axiom is things which are double of the same thing are equal to one another. And the last axiom is things which are half of the same thing are also equal to one another. These are the 7 axioms you learn also and write down in your notebook also. Now I write the postulates. 5 postulates are there in the Euclid geometry. One by one, I have given you the example also. With the example, I clear these all the axioms. Now I clear your postulates. There are 5 postulates. You also note down the postulates also, which are used in the Euclid geometry. Now there are 5 postulates. Note down these postulates in your notebook. Your first postulate is a straight line. First postulate says a straight line may be drawn. A straight line may be drawn from any point to any other point. May be drawn to any point, any one point to any another point. For example, I am taking 2 points. One by one, I will explain all these postulates. I have taken 2 points. 1 point and this is the second point. And if I join these points, if I join these 2 points, a straight line may be drawn to any one point to any another point. A straight line is formed. A straight line is formed when I join all these 2 points. And I can terminate, this line is, I can produce indefinitely from on both the side also. Okay? First you have to clear this point. A straight line may be drawn to any one point to any other point. This is 1 point and this is your second point. When I join all these points, a straight line is formed, naming, I give it this name, AB is the straight line formed from the point A to point B. Clear? Your second postulate is, note down the second postulates. A terminated line can be produced indefinitely. How I can explain this? A terminated line, for example, you have taken a terminated line. This is the terminated line. Okay. You can call it line segment also. You can produce the line segment also from on both the sides, right hand side and left hand side, and you can produce the line also on both the side. For example, when I draw a line, I have marked it with the 2 arrows. I can indefinitely produce on both the side. A terminated line also I can produce, and a line also I can produce on both the side. Okay, this is the line. And a terminated line, the postulate says a terminated line can be produced indefinitely. When you have given a terminated line, you can produce it from both the side, left and right hand side, you can produce it. Okay. So this is the terminated line and this is the line. And if in any question you have asked that a line can be produced, then you can say that a line is also produced on both the side. Now the postulates third postulates is a circle can be drawn with any center and any radius. What does it mean? A circle can be drawn. If you have to draw, you have given a center of radius of 2 centimeters. You can choose any center from this board. You can choose any center. You can choose it here, anywhere. You can choose anywhere. A circle can be drawn with any center. I have taken this center O, and with the 2 centimeter radius, I have taken here the 2 centimeter radius, and I draw the circle. Another circle also I can draw with any center, and now I am taking the 3 centimeter radius. So you can say this postulate is clear. A circle can be drawn with any center and with any radius we can draw the circle. So postulates 4 is your postulates 4. Postulates 4 is all right angles are equal to one another. Equal to one another. For example, I draw an angle, right angle, 90 degree. Right angle means 90 degree. And now I draw a right angle like this way. This is also the right angle. Okay. Now again I can draw a right angle. This is also the right angle. If I can take the protractor and I measure, this is the right angle, this also the right, 90 degree angle, and this is also the right angle. When I keep protractor on this angle is equal to this angle, because this is also the right and this is also the right. You cannot see the rays whether it is short or long. Okay, you can only measure this angle. This is the 90 degree. It is having any shape. I can draw it like this way, because when two lines I have taken, one right angle I have drawn here and one angle I draw it here. So taking this point, so these right angle are also equal to one another. So our postulates 4 is all right angle are equal to the one another. Rays does not matter in this question. Okay, whether it is long or short, whether it is in this point, right? You can only measure the angles. All the right angles are equal to one another. And the fifth postulate is very, very important. And the question fifth postulates always these type of questions came in your question in your exams related to the fifth postulates. The fifth postulate